Hello, it's Binni here. Big move in the market this week. The US just imposed a 125% tariff on Chinese imports, and China quickly retaliated with an 84% tariff on US goods. This sudden escalation in the trade war sent shockwaves through global markets. S&P 500 and Nasdaq dropped sharply. The Hang Seng and the Nikkei also sold off on the global uncertainty, while STI wasn't spared as well. Now, while all the market was in deep red, one index caught my attention, and that's the FTSE China A50. That's because the A50 has a special structure that allows it to remain resilient. So in this video, I want to talk about why that happened, how the China stock market is structured, and how we can use the A50 to tap into it. China's stock market is the second largest in the world, but it's split into two distinct worlds, onshore and offshore. If you ever wonder how global investors like Singapore investors can tap into China's growth, then this breakdown is for you. First, let's take a look at the onshore market, and that's basically for domestic investors. Right, so this is where the mainland Chinese companies, they lease their shares for domestic investors, and these are called A shares and the older B shares. Now, there are three key exchanges here. One would be the Shanghai Stock Exchange, SSE, that's home to the blue chip giants on the main board and the tech innovators on the star market. That's like the China's answer to Nasdaq. Then we have the Shenzhen Stock Exchange. The main board will host established companies, while the Chinex focuses on high growth startup. Then we have the Beijing Stock Exchange, which is a newer exchange for small to mid-cap companies. So really, if you are looking at investing directly into the mainland China, then you're looking at two stock markets, which would be Shanghai and Shenzhen Stock Exchange. But the problem is, right, so these two markets, they are tightly regulated, and foreign investors can only access them through programs, which is Stock Connect. Now then, let's talk about the offshore markets for international investors. Now, when you have the offshore side, so this is where the China companies lease shares outside the mainland, which is open to global investors. And where do they list that? That would be the Hong Kong exchange. So we have, for example, H shares, which the Chinese firms incorporated in mainland China, but they leased in Hong Kong. Then we have the red chips and the P chips. Red chips, they are state-owned companies, and the P chips will be private mainland companies that's listed offshore. Now, we do have foreign listings like the ADR. For example, you have Baba or JD.com that's listed in the Nasdaq, the US listed Chinese stocks. And lastly, we have the S chips, which will be the Singapore listed. So for example, we have NIO that is dual listed here, or we have Yangzijiang that's also operating in China but listed in Singapore. Now, to add on that, Singapore recently introduced SDR, which allows us to invest into Hong Kong listed companies such as Xiaomi, BYD, Ping An, etc. With all this means, it's easier for foreigners to invest into the Chinese companies, but it doesn't always reflect the real Chinese economy like what the A shares do. So how does the international investors buy the A shares? They have to buy via the China Hong Kong Stock Connect, which is a gateway linking the Hong Kong to Shanghai and Shenzhen. But there's always a problem. Beware, there's always a quota, and the regulations still apply every day. Say you want a pure China exposure, then you have to go for onshore A shares, but you need to access them via one, the Stock Connect, which is via Hong Kong, or you can trade the FTSE China A50 Index. As I said earlier, the FTSE China A50 Index comprises the 50 largest A-shares companies that's listed on the Shanghai and Shenzhen Stock Exchange. It offers a very good snapshot of China's economic giants across various sectors. So here you can see the whole list of the 50 component stocks, but I'm just going to highlight some of the key players here. So first we have Guizhou Moutai. So that's about a 12.2% of the index. It's a renowned China's premium liquor. So if you want to drink baijiu during your business meeting, then you want to drink Guizhou Moutai. Second, we have CATL, so that's the world's largest battery manufacturer, which is very, very important for the EV industry in China, and this accounts for about 6% of the index. Then followed by China Merchants Bank, one of the top leading commercial banks, about 5.3%. Then we have China Yangtze Power, so that's the largest hydropower company globally, so that's about 4.5% in terms of weight. Ping An Insurance, that's about 3.3%, and then BYD, so this is a leading manufacturer of EV and rechargeable batteries. That's about 3.75% of the index. And then we've seen in recent reports that BYD cars are in certain quarters performing better than Tesla. And lastly, another Baijiu company, which is Wuliangye, so that's about 3.2%. So by getting into an index which is A50, then it does gives you the exposure into 50 companies that's pivotal to the Chinese economy domestically. Then the question would be, how do you as foreign investors gain access? Then if you look at SGX, then SGX has two ways for you to gain access. One is to trade into the A50 futures. Right. The second is to buy into ETF that tracks the A50 index. ETF will be exchange traded funds. So right now I'm at the UOBAM FTSE China A50 Index ETF. Just scroll down a little bit. So what's the key features? As I say, it's tracking the top 50 A shares company. Then it's traded in SGD. All right, and then you can use your SRS. Okay, so you're able to use your SRS. Then you scroll down. So basically, this is what I've said, right? So it's invest into Shenzhen and Shanghai, and accessed into the main board and the China Next, as well as the stock market. Then lastly, what I like to do is I always like to go into the more information section to know about the management fee. So the management fee is right now at 0.45% per annum. So this is still reasonable. All right, you're able to do the SGD as well as the USD. And lastly, you are able to just sell it and buy it like you are doing stocks in the Singapore Stock Exchange. So if you would like to gain, let's say, into the A50, into the Chinese domestic market, then this could be one way for you to evaluate and explore. So next section, I just wanted to take a quick look into the charts of A50. I'm looking at the China A50 Index, the futures price fit. The symbol is CN. So this is under the SGX where you can trade the futures. So let's take a look into a little bit on the longer term trend. It was downtrend, all right, but then recently we've seen that it make a higher high. So this is the first sign of a reversal. Then at the same time, there is a higher low. So this is a low point. So this is a higher low. And this one here happens to be a 85% retracement. So price actually retraced much lower. I mean, probably affected or very much affected by the tariff. But still, by hitting the 85% retracement of this upward movement, it is still a higher low. So this uptrend, based on such evaluation, it is still intact. Now, one thing I just wanted to highlight is that previously we've seen the previous round that priced also stop around the 76% to 85% retracement. So what is this retracement about? It means that when price moved up, if there should be a correction, it actually corrected about 70 to 80% of the previous upward movement. So we've seen that there was a huge surge during last year, September 2024, and right now this is a correction that's moved to the 70 to 80%. So let me just do that correction again. Here we go. So this is a correction in the region of 70 to 80%. Even with this correction, price is still maintaining an uptrend here. All right, so that's all for the A50. In any case, that if there are other index that you wished and you hope that I can do an analysis, do let me know. But China A50 caught my attention. And if you like this video, remember to hit the subscribe button and do follow me in Telegram. So this is where I discussed a lot of stocks, Singapore, Hong Kong, US stocks.